Okay, here we go. This is called Lighting It Man of the New Hollywood by me. All right. I am learning more and more every day that love is the only thing that matters. Like most of us nearing 40, I spent many fitful in-between years, lost years, idiot years, worrying about useless shit. American pride, stars in my eyes, fat, misguided sense of entitlement egging me on, narrowing my focus until all I could think about was money and status and success. I thought the only thing that mattered was trying to be what I thought I was supposed to be, what American ideals had groomed me to be. You're nobody until you're somebody. Trying to squeeze that bone-dry American dream for all it was worth, and though it never got me anywhere but broke and despondent and upset, I kept on and on. It's what we do. But I'm learning, and love warms, and my beautiful Maggie soothes, consoling often, understanding beyond understanding with that crazy patience of hers that seems to go on forever and ever, and then doubles back on itself and goes on forever and ever again. And year upon year of nothing, I'm finally starting to see that I already have everything I need. I'm starting to realize I may never make it. I may never be the next big thing. And scraping by, settling, growing up, living a normal life might have to be good enough. And I promised myself, as soon as I can get the money for a nice ring, I was going to take those first baby steps toward normalcy by marrying my Maggie, if she'd have me. Back on our very first date, I was even broker than I am now, so I stole a bottle of generic whiskey from Vaughn's and took it up to the Hollywood sign. We spent a romantic evening sitting under the stars, taking shots, making out, talking about the brightest of futures, and I knew, right then and there, that this was the one. Now, before you start getting an image in your head of this romantic rock star in training with glam fag hair and skin-tight leathers, wooing his beloved rock chick beneath one of the most iconic metaphors ever to reign over a city, I have to add that we were actually about a quarter of a mile away from the sign, in a little clearing that smelly winos and stupid high school kids use for drinking stolen liquor. So now, here we are. Me, the luckiest man in the world with the woman I know I love, and we were parking my Honda Accord on the gravel shoulder off of Beechwood Drive. And I'm getting out and circling to get the door for my girl, like any decent man in love should do. And between me and me alone, tonight is tonight. Not just moonlit romance to mass poverty, not a cheap any old date with my lady love, not a nostalgic return to the scene of our first outing. No, friends, tonight is the night. Tonight I take a shaky knee and pop the shaky question. Tonight, my friends, I take the plunge. Tonight I become more than I deserve to be. But shh, Maggie doesn't know a thing. Yesterday I told the band to fuck themselves. I pawned my Marshall half-stack in an old Fender that was worth twice as much as I got for it, and settled upon a ring that, in my opinion, was worth far more than I shelled out for it. With this drive, this return to the scene of our first serious date, Maggie thinks I'm fumbling at romance. She has no idea it's all about to come full circle. This way, my lady, I intone in an uppity English accent. Sorry. Bowing as I open the passenger door, and usher her out into the warm light. She steps demurely from the vehicle and plays along. She fingers the fake pearls around her neck and apes my snooty accent. Sorry. I do declare, Jeeves, a most exquisite night, but I have a ravishing headache and wish to be returned to the estate at once. I laugh and wrap her up in a bear hug. Despite my anti-success, I've done an excellent job snagging this beauty. Charming? Check. Delightful? Check. Modest? Check. Sweet? Check. Sexy? Check. I let her go, then kiss her forehead and ask, "Are you ready?" 4. I move in and nuzzle her again. "Yeah, right." She pushes me off and holds up her hands. First base is as far as I go. No humping in public, tired. I smile and lead her through some high bushes into the clearing where I set up the most romantic date in the world. It takes me a full 10 seconds to register that the sheet I laid out, the picnic basket, the champagne, all of the most romantic date in the world paraphernalia is gone. In its place, a wide circle of 7 hooded figures wearing floor-length black robes are holding hands and chanting ominous-sounding ritualistic verse. Naturally, shady types wearing black robes join in the circle, reciting weird, scary mantras nears the top of my list of things you should be quick to avoid. But before I can turn and drag Maggie back to the car for a quick getaway, I feel several pairs of heavy hands clamp down upon my shoulders and wrench the back of my neck. Maggie's soft, warm hand slips from my grasp, and the moment our palms part, fear kicks me in the gut. I'm an artist, a skinny, pale lover, not a fighter, but I make a pair of tough fists and fully intend upon swinging around and pummeling and bashing, ripping and tearing, shredding and fighting dirty until I get my girl and I safe away. But the asshole hands beleaguering me are firm and forceful, and I can't seem to shake them. They push rough, in charge, and within seconds I'm dropping to my knees, breaking my fall with my forearms, wincing in pain. Something thuds against the base of my skull, and an explosion of white, blue, purple stars obliterates vision and sense. The sharp blow doesn't knock me out, but it strips away control, and after a few inertia-defying swings and swoops, my attackers, more of the black-robed men, twist me on my back. They hurriedly strip me down, save for the red sequin thong I wore as a joke for my Maggie, and then secure me to the ground via metal stakes and 4 pieces of unforgiving rope, 1 for each ankle and wrist. Full consciousness flitters back, but they bound me tightly and I can't do jack shit. I pull and I kick while the scratchy rope bites into the soft flesh of my wrists and ankles, and the cold ground scrapes against my wriggling back. My head feels like a bowling ball. As I struggle, I crane my neck, powering through the monster headache, and search for Maggie. The circle of freaks is closed around me, dark robe after dark robe, bleeding together into one black mass. But I manage to catch a glimpse between a few pairs of sparsely spaced shoulders. 2 black robes are holding her fast just beyond the circle. I can see little flashes of her kicking and thrashing, but her abductors are strong and have little trouble containing her violence. They gag her with a piece of cloth, but they're careful, like they're trying not to hurt her. God help them if they do. The robes encircling me begin to chant their creepy chant. I kick and thrash, screaming, "Shit!" and "Help!" with such lung-bursting force that my throat shreds and I have to swallow back little rivers of blood. The circle of robes drones on, but my intense screaming causes a brief hiccup in their somber song. I let loose again. More blood seeps and my throat burns like hell, but this time the power of my cry stops a few robes completely. This sudden break halts the other voices, and a second of silence hangs until one of them, a deep, gravelly husk of a voice, urges, "Please, we must continue." Gravel Voice is standing at the apex of the circle. He is holding a large book open in his palms and seems to be running the show. The chorus recommences, and I give off another ear-splitting yell. I can hear Maggie trying to do the same, but her voice comes out muffled behind her gag. Regardless, our screams, hers muted, mine raging, seems to be working. "We need to gag him," a female robe suggests. "No," the gravelly voiced man responds. "No obstructions on the face. It will be over soon." "I'm fucking tiny," I yell. "Sir, please." Another of the robes, this one male with an effeminate voice and gait, steps from the circle and puts a hand out as if to say it's okay. "Colin," the gravelly voiced man barks. "If it's going to work, it has to be calm. This will help." The effeminate Colin digs through his robes until he finds a syringe. Nodding at the congregation, he dips down and shoves the needle in my arm. I thrash and yell bloody murder, but after a few more outbursts, whatever he gave me begins to do its magic. I begin to nod off. Through the haze, I can hear the ominous chanting fire back up, and my Maggie's muffled cries. My eyelids grow heavy, while sound and the world at large blur to a near-nothing swirl. I float for a few moments, and then a flash of lightning strikes the bush, mere feet to the left of the circle. The blaze of light snaps my eyes wide. A rolling peal of thunder staves off whatever drug this Colin character has pumped into my system. Yet as fast as the light and sound pulls me away, the sedative pulls me back, and heavy sleep tries again. I go under completely, pure black, dreamless, nothing, wondering if this is what it is like to die, when another burst of light careens. This time I don't just see the lightning in muddle streaks, I feel it in white-hot gobs of soul-eradicating energy. My forehead burns, the skin crackling, bone cracking, blood boiling, my veins frying, nerves fraying, brain melting, thunder booms. The lightning spins my mind like a roulette wheel, and flashes of who I am, loser, idiot, pathetic, dead dreamer, fuses with flashes of who I want to be, responsible, loving, provider, fuses with flashes of who we are, animals, procreators, petri dish experiments. My body convulses, seizing with spasms, my muscles petrify, my bowels empty. I have some pretty fucked up, and it feels like I've been run over by a semi with electrified tires. But then I'm alive, blinking, lost, settling back into my cooked skin, cooling in. 4 robes move in and untie my wrists and ankles. They each grab an appendage and heave me to the edge of the clearing where they're holding Maggie. As they lay me down in the patchy grass, Maggie's captors begin to drag her to the stakes. She kicks and gouges and almost gets free, but the 4 robes that drag me over pitch in and help out until she is secure. Every part of me feels like it has been mushed and mashed together. And even though I'm alive, I feel like I won't be for long. 0 strength, 0 me. All I can do is watch as the robes tie down my love, rejoin their circle, and begin their freakish ritual all over again. The chanting starts, and I try to roll from my side onto my back. Quick pulses of electricity jump my bones, fidgeting my mass. The mushy cooked goop inside me seems to undulate and shift. The undersides of my skin go white hot, and an ocean of sweat assaults my pores. My forehead, cheekbones, and lower jaw throb dizzyingly. The electrical impulses tickling my bones and eking tidal waves of sweat from my skin weave around my nervous systems and vein trails, plumping, sheathing, and hollowing my arteries. My blood sizzles. My stone-heavy muscles go jail soft, and then become tense. My body leaps to its feet. It hunkers me down, knuckles near the ground, head up, brows furrowing, eyes glaring with animal hate. The robes are no longer black. They glow a sick red. Auras, halos, mist like thin skin, and ratty clothes can't contain the blood waiting to be freed. A stab of lightning strikes the top of the Y in the Hollywood sign. Thunder shakes the mountain. Digging into the dirt with my knuckles, I launch toward the circle. My hands splay before me, and suddenly I notice how huge and different they are. Thick with hair and calluses, stretchy, puffy,